Look at this dork, looking at her own thumb to see where the bloody thumb should go. What a galah! Hi everyone, I'm Shannon Lee. Welcome to my Arts and Crafts channel. I'm a 23-year-old Aussie from Tasmania. That's the little heart-shaped island beneath our mainland. It's also where that dude from Looney Tunes lives, the one who goes and I love to draw, and I've wanted to post videos to YouTube for ages, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I kept wimping out. So I'm getting over it now, and for my first ever video, this is a speed drawing of my newest Dungeons & Dragons character, Quicksilver. Quicksilver's brand new. She's only level 3 and she's a Tabaxi swashbuckler. I nearly said squashbuckler. She's a squashbuckler. She's in her late 20s and is a mum of two to 2 different mates. Controversy. She's looking all tragic because her family's far away. It was the holiday season, which is all about family, so I got inspired to explore what some of my original characters' relationships are like with their family members. Oh look, it's colouring time. I wonder what colours I'll pick. All the colours! Just this once, I'm not going to talk too much or at all about my plan or my process for this picture because I didn't really have one at all. I realised that the thing that was stressing me out and delaying me so much in getting a video out was that I was so concerned about getting every little thing perfect and thumbnailing and iterating on designs and planning and replanning ideas for a beautiful finished piece, and in the end I just had to decide to do something where I wasn't going to care what the outcome was, and that's what this piece is. I had fun and I enjoyed it, and there are things I like about it, but I also know it could have been better executed if I'd actually planned. But I don't mind. Sometimes you just need to do guilty pleasure art. This guilty pleasure art of my furry, she's a Tabaxi rogue, but she's a furry, looking sad. And I wasn't even really planning to colour it in. I didn't have any plan for it to start with at all, but I decided on a whim, let's colour her in, let's film it. And here we are, and I'm glad that I didn't put too much pressure on myself, otherwise we wouldn't be here. Regarding my channel generally, I have a butt-ton of different ideas that I'm excited about. Feel free to tell me if they're good or if they're crap, let me know. I'd like to do the usual things that artists do on YouTube, speed paints, challenges, videos of me making crafts. Oh yeah, I like doing doll customizations and stuff. I'm not good at it. I'm just learning that. I did used to do plushies though, so if you're interested in seeing me sew some plushies, let me know that too. Maybe one day I'll do some animation. I haven't done any of that in ages. But these are all hobbies I really like, so anything that people are actually interested in seeing or learning about, you know, I'll consider. Oscar, don't butt in. Specifically, I'd like to create a series that I'm going to call the Ultimate Style Challenge. You know, like the style challenge that we all know and love, but instead of doing 20 different artists' styles in one 10-minute video where it's all neoming past, I want to see if I can do studies of each artist in each video for a whole series. So I could take the time to do studies of each artist's work and then apply that to how I think that artist would draw my own character. And I think that might be a little more informative because I really love those videos. I love the art style challenge. They're really good, but they're too short and it's sad. And we don't get to see any of the background stuff about how the artist, the YouTube artist that is, breaks down the other artist's work and learns from them, and how then they apply those other artists' work to their own style. You know what I mean? Oh, also, a good thing about doing a whole series where I show the whole process of how I study is I'll also demonstrate how I would post it without accidentally stealing the other person's art. Yeah. The other thing that might make it slightly more entertaining, even if it's not informative at all, is that because I'll have to explain every single choice I make, it'll be really obvious if I stuff it up, and that could be pretty funny. So yeah, if there are any artists in particular you'd like to see me try to imitate and learn from, you know, YouTubers like Casey Golden or Ren from Drawing with Waffles, or movie artist people like Tim Burton, or styles that aren't just people like from movies, Hercules, the Disney Hercules, has a very distinct style, which I think was initially based on an artist or inspired by an artist, but then also all this particular imagery was like sort of incorporated into it. It's a whole thing. But yeah, let me know what stuff you'd like to see me try and I'll give it a go. Another particularly, I don't know if this is a good idea, but another idea that I'm particularly excited about for a series is I really liked Ren's series where she did fan art of a character that starts with each letter of the alphabet. It's a simple enough thing, but it was really lovely, and I think it got kind of tricky at some points because, like, how do you think of characters that start with Y? I think she did Yzma. Anyway, I really liked that series, so I'd like to do my own version of something like that. When I thought about it, this has kind of made me a little bit more interested in doing it because it's just kind of silly. When I thought about it, I realized that a lot of my favorite characters happen to be gay. I wonder why. And I think it could be funny to do, or like just fun to do a queer edition. I just said queer edition. Tell me if you think that sounds fun or just really stupid. I love character design, so honestly, it's likely that the entire channel will be dominated by me doing character designs. Maybe some of them can be things that we design together, like either from a poll where you'll tell me what traits you want the character to have, or maybe I'll do totally randomized traits sometimes. Maybe we can design some D&D characters together because they're the best. I could also do a Drawing Your OCs series, you know, where people draw other people's OCs but in their own style. It's sort of the same kind of idea as the style challenge, but in reverse, because I'd be drawing your characters but in my style instead of my characters in someone else's style. Let me know if you're an artist out there. First, let me know if there's anyone out there. If you're an artist out there and you'd like to see me draw your characters, let me know that too. I have a bajillion ideas, as you can probably tell, and a butt ton of energy. I have plentiful energy and enthusiasm, and probably more of that than I have practical skill to execute my ideas. So if you have other ideas, or you have some constructive criticism, how about you leave it in the comments? Please be gentle though, because I am delicate and this is my first video, so don't roast me too hard. So finally I can talk a little bit about this illustration. She's holding a drawing that I think her son did for her of their little family, and she's holding a little soft toy that belongs to her daughter. I tried to make it clear that it's Pepper's doll without putting a bow on it or something stupid like that, so I just tried to make it look a little bit like her, like she might have seen it in a shop somewhere and been like, that's me, I want it. As I've already established, really not enough thought went into this piece at all. It wasn't ready to be a finished coloured piece at all. In the end, I decided to just put space, stars, cute things, space in the background. And there was kind of a concept behind it. There was kind of a thought process. You know that cheesy saying that no matter how far apart we are, we're all looking up at the same moon? I figured, why not just engulf them all in space, and that'll be nice because it's like they're close together even though they're far away. It's not that deep, but I needed something to put in the background. Oh, look, we've got time for some backstory. Backstory time. This is Quicksilver. She is based on what is left after someone lives the classic adventurer lifestyle. You hear all those stories about bards who sleep around and drink and do all sorts of irresponsible, inappropriate activities on their adventures, and you never see any consequences for them. DMs might try to provide consequences, but there's only so much you can do to rein in those types, isn't there? So her whole personality is basically like the washed up results of that. She has been in jail, she has many exes and a lot of debt. Her consequences follow her because naturally if she was just a random guy sleeping around the towns through her adventures, she might not notice that someone was produced by that union, but being a lady lady naughty character. She couldn't really escape that consequence. She's a nice person. She just has made some irresponsible choices and now has to live with them. That's all. She has a really silly kind of Scottishy accent. At first I was trying to do a pirate voice, but I don't know how to do a pirate voice, and it just devolved until I eventually sounded like that lady in the meme who says, "Disgusting!" So that's her voice now. And I feel like that's appropriate because that's probably what her parenting skills are. Like, the full extent of them. She steals because she was a pirate. She's always been nomadic and flighty and associated with people who might have been on the wrong side of the law. It was just a natural progression for her to go from land thief to water thief. Ironically enough, because one of my friends pointed out it would be funny and I just stole that idea, she is frightened of the water because cats. I'm aware that many big cats can swim and are not afraid of the water, but I think it's funny, so she's afraid of the water. Her name, Quicksilver, was chosen because it was supposed to evoke a flighty character, maybe someone not trustworthy, but hilariously enough, she just happened to pull a card from one of those wacky decks in the game that increased her walk speed to 50 feet, so she actually is really fast now, and because of her rogue abilities, and her Tabaxi abilities. She has a lot of movement each turn. It's a lot. She has a lot. She can move very fast. One of my friends did some maths. I can't maths, so I'll just trust his judgment, and he said that she's apparently only, I don't know, he said something like 5 meters per second slower than Usain Bolt. I don't know. Anyway, it was really funny, and I was like, that's pretty appropriate for a character called Quicksilver. In our most recent session, she's been taking care of a flower pot, a magical flower pot. She had no idea what was special about it, but it was a flower pot. It cracked open, and out emerged a small golden kitten. And it turns out that the pot basically enables her to cast the Find Familiar spell, which is hilarious and random, because now she's a anthropomorphic cat with an actual cat. I decided because she's a pirate and I wanted to have some kind of treasure theme that I was going to have her name the kitten Nugget, like Gold Nugget. Also emphasizes that it is a small cat, I suppose, because he's just a kitten. I played around with calling him Pyrite because it sounds like pirate, and also the whole concept of fool's gold kind of seemed fitting for something that looks like a cat but isn't really a cat because it's a familiar and it's a spirit or whatever. But I don't know, I think Nugget's cuter. And yeah, I know Jester from Critical Role also has a dog called Nugget, and I did think about calling it something else, but it's just too perfect, so I just thought, whatever, they can twin. They're twinning it. It's fine. My other character is way more of a Jester ripoff anyway. I'll tell you about her another day. I realised after I designed her, this is not the final design, by the way, that's something I should have done before the illustration. I realised that I, subconsciously or something, designed her based off Snow Leopard pirate character that I saw in the back of the Draw Furries book, and I didn't realise, but I picked up that book again the other day and I was like, well, dang, whoops, she looks familiar. Pirate cat furry, wow. The other adult in the illustration is kind of like a placeholder. I didn't know what I wanted the ex-mate to look like. I figured I didn't even know whether I wanted a girl or a guy. I don't know. I just went with the lynx because I knew that the daughter was going to look like a lynx, and I thought it would be cute if they matched. In the end, it just meant that there's this huge, wall of saturation on that side of the illustration, which is quite unbalanced, but whatever. I think that they turned out cute. I want the, love of Quicksilver's life to be named Firefly, which is why the placeholder name in the little drawing that she's holding is Firefly, but I don't think that this is Firefly. I think this is placeholder nobody. The child, little splodgy baby, who I accidentally made naked, what the heck? Anyway, this is Pepper. My favourite thing about Pepper's design is that her little, lynxy cheek fluff is pulled into pigtails, which is not an original idea. The bloody Winnie from Hotel Transylvania has basically the same design but is the wolf, but it's fine, okay? Totally original. OC, do not steal. But yeah, like I just thought that was a cute thing, so I decided to add that into my little childer also. The other kid, the older one, who I'd say is about 10, his name is Tiger, not Tiger, but Taiga, and he's based on a white tiger. So I've decided that there are no rules. My Tabaxi are going to be based on whatever random miscellaneous cats I feel like, and they don't have to look related. YOLO. He was the son of another of Quicksilver's partners, and the reason that he is by himself in this picture is because Quicksilver was thrown in jail some time ago because she's the cheeky little thief, and there was nowhere to put him, so he was left at a monastery or an orphanage or something or other, and Quicksilver's ex-mate wouldn't take him because he wasn't her child, or his child, I haven't decided, which I think is pretty rude. And yeah, so little buddy is all by himself at the minute. As you can see, Quicksilver is not in jail at the moment. She eventually broke out of jail. It didn't take her long. When she broke out, the first thing she did was run to her son to see if she could, steal him back. But she looked through the fence and saw him playing with other children and having a relatively stable life, and realised that she couldn't offer that to him. So she decided to go on an adventure, some self-discovery rubbish, and try and make herself worthy of her children so that she could earn them or something. She has all the issues because people only go off adventuring if they're messed up. Her goal is to pay back all her debts. Presumably eventually she'll realise that the whole jail situation was supposed to be a debt to society or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she won't turn out better in the end. Maybe she'll just get worse. I don't know. She wants to become a better person so that she feels deserving of the people she loves. And then she'll go back and find them, in theory. Of course her kids don't give a damn that she's a bit of a disaster. They just want their mum back, but from her perspective she has work to do, and honestly I couldn't agree more. I'm sorry that the video jumped there to the line art section. I don't know why, but for some reason the camera didn't record me lining the background, or maybe it did and it just got corrupted, I don't recall. Fortunately, we still have the important part, the foreground. Good, we can actually watch some of this process. I really love the lining part of this particular video because the whole drawing looked so out of focus until I put lines on it. It's so weird how that works. Normally my preferred way to do illustrations like this is to work in coloured pencil and then put marker over the top. I just really like the way that looks, but for some reason, because I was feeling experimental and wild, totally wild, today I decided to do the proper fine liner black outline treatment. I ended up going a bit ham with the bolder outline in the end, but here we're coming up to the end now. The last step is to add the stars, and this is the finished piece. Thank you for checking out my channel. I want to post again really soon, hopefully in the next week or two. Thank you so much for any likes and subs. Come back soon for more Shannonanigans. But thank you for very much. What the f? Thank you for very much.